Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit LIONS fans. Let's get to the news folks, if you've been paying attention to the NFL lately, especially the NFC North, you know that things are heating up in a way we haven't seen in a while. The Detroit Lions, currently sitting at 5-2 and showing some serious promise, have been making strategic moves behind the scenes that could redefine their future. But what's really catching fire right now is the rumor swirling around the Denver Broncos and their potential blockbuster trade involving none other than Patrick Surtain. Yes, you heard that right. A player who has been a cornerstone of the Broncos, secondary since being drafted in 2021, and who's been recognized as an All-Pro multiple times, might be heading to Detroit. And let me tell you, this isn't just some casual trade talk. It could be a game-changer not just for Denver, but for the Lions and the entire NFC landscape. First, let's talk about Surtain himself because, honestly, he's one of the most elite cornerbacks in the league right now. Drafted with the 9th pick in 2021, Patrick Surtain has quickly established himself as a shutdown corner, a true lockdown presence on the outside. Over the past few seasons, he's accumulated an impressive 18 interceptions, which is no small feat, especially in today's pass-happy NFL. His ball skills are top-notch, and he's consistently ranked among the best in coverage metrics, with a PFF grade hovering around 93. Won in recent games, that's elite territory. In 2022 and 2023, he was recognized as an All-Pro, a testament to his ability to shut down some of the league's top receivers. Last season, he allowed just a 43% completion rate when targeted, and his EPA per target was a staggering 33, which puts him in the upper echelon of cornerbacks. What makes Surtain so appealing is not just his stats, but his durability. Unlike some players who get nicked up or experience dips in performance, Surtain has remained healthy, playing 96% of the snaps last season with a PFF grade of 93. Showcasing his consistency and reliability. He's a player who can be trusted at all times, especially in high-stakes moments. And if we look ahead, projections suggest he could easily rack up 8 or more interceptions in a season, which would elevate any secondary he's a part of. Imagine him paired with the Lions' defensive backs, particularly with someone like Brian Branch, who's been outstanding with a PFF grade of 85. The potential for this unit to elevate to new heights is enormous, especially when considering the importance of a lockdown corner in today's NFL, where the passing game reigns supreme. Now, shifting gears a little, let's analyze the situation with the Denver Broncos because, according to sources from ESPN, they're actively exploring a rebuild mode. The Broncos, who have struggled to find consistency this season, currently sit at 3-4, and their secondary has been underwhelming, ranked 22nd in the league, allowing around 224 passing yards per game. They're prioritizing a rebuild, and one of their key motivations seems to be freeing up cap space, with about $25 million available to focus on younger talent and draft picks. The trade of Surtain, if it happens, would be a clear statement of intent to rebuild around their young quarterback, Nix, who's shown flashes but is still inconsistent, with a completion percentage of just 57%. The Broncos have some roster needs, especially on the offensive line and the defensive front, with a focus on extending players like Mainers and shoring up their pass rush, which currently surrenders around 2.7 sacks per game. The Broncos aren't just looking to offload Surtain for cap reasons. They also want to accelerate their rebuild, especially with the NFL trade deadline approaching on November 4th. They're expected to free up around $21 million in cap space by the deadline, which will give them flexibility to target other key areas. However, trading Surtain would be a bold move that signals they're betting on future drafts rather than immediate success. And from the Lions' perspective, acquiring a player of Surtain's caliber would be huge. They've been solid defensively, ranking 19th in pass defense, allowing 228 yards per game, but adding a shutdown corner like Surtain would be a massive upgrade, especially in man coverage situations. In fact, what makes this even more interesting is the potential impact on Detroit's upcoming matchups. With certain, the Lions could better neutralize top receivers like Justin Jefferson, who has been a nightmare for defenses this season, racking up over 800 yards and 7 touchdowns. Certain's ability to limit elite receivers to a lower completion percentage, around 19% versus top-tier targets, would be a game-changer in matchups against division rivals and playoff contenders alike. Detroit has been relying heavily on their pass rush, with Hutchinson leading the way, especially with increased blitzes and pressures. His ability to generate pressure, around 18% more than last season, combined with a solid secondary, could make the Lions' pass defense one of the league's most formidable units. And that's not all. With Brian Branch playing at an elite level with a PFF grade of 85.6, Detroit's secondary has been a bright spot, especially as they prepare to face the Vikings and Jefferson. The addition of Surtain would elevate the entire unit, providing the Lions with a true all-pro talent who can lock down the outside and give the rest of the defense more freedom to generate pressure without worrying about top receivers burning them. The Lions are in the thick of a season that could turn into a real contender run, and bolstering their secondary with a player like Surtain would be a statement of intent. Now let's talk about the odds because, according to some betting markets, the possibility of Surtain ending up in Detroit has gone from +6, 0 to around +2, 200. That's a significant shift, and it indicates that the betting community is starting to believe this could really happen. If Surtain joins the Lions, it wouldn't just be a boost for this season. It could be a key piece in their quest for NFC dominance and a deep playoff run. His presence would be akin to what Richard Sherman provided to the Seahawks back in 2013, a true X-factor in the secondary who can change the complexion of a game with just one interception or a crucial pass breakup. So what's the big picture here? The Lions, with their current roster and the addition of a player like Surtain, could solidify their secondary into one of the league's best, creating a formidable barrier for opponents in the NFC. This move would bolster their chances of not just making the playoffs, but making a deep run, possibly even challenging the dominant teams like the Eagles or 49ers. It's about building a true contender, a team that can shut down the pass in critical moments and turn the tide in their favor. And for Surtain, heading to Detroit could be a chance to elevate his career even further, a fresh start with a team on the rise, ready to make a statement. In the grand scheme of things, this is more than just a trade rumor. It's a potential shift in the NFC landscape. The Lions are already a team on the rise, with a strong defense led by Hutchinson and an offense that's lighting up the scoreboard. Adding Surtain would make them even more dangerous, a nightmare for any quarterback and a nightmare for division rivals. And if this trade happens, it could set the tone for the rest of the season, signaling that the Lions are serious about competing not just for a playoff spot, but for a deep postseason run and maybe even more. So, Lions fans, keep your eyes peeled. This story isn't over yet, and the next few weeks could bring some shocking developments. The NFL deadline is looming, and all signs point to some major moves ahead. Whether or not Surtain ends up in Detroit, one thing is for sure, the NFC North is about to get even more exciting, and the Lions are right in the middle of it. Stay tuned, because we'll be here to bring you all the latest updates, analysis, and insider info to keep you ahead of the game. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Lions. Do you believe Surtain would be the perfect addition? How do you see this affecting the team's chances in the playoffs? Are you excited about the potential of this move? Let's get the conversation going. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with even more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. The season is heating up, and with moves like this, the Lions could be on the cusp of something truly special. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Lions!